if you believe in God, you could say, well, maybe God gave us an extra kidney so that we could give away. You know, if I had another kidney, I would donate that one too.
It started with an act of kindness, and it ended up saving 30 lives. A California man decided to give the gift of life by donating a kidney to a stranger. His generosity triggered a chain of transplants involving 60 willing donors and recipients, the longest chain of its kind ever. Our next guest played a crucial part in the transplant chain. Toronto real estate agent Josephine Bonaventure donated her kidney to a stranger, hoping to help a relative. She's with us in studio this morning. Thank you for joining us. So tell me, because this is such an amazing story, and there's so many elements to it, but how did it begin for you?
I found out that my distant cousin needed a kidney, so I decided to donate to him, but I wasn't a great match. There's 6 antigens that you have to meet, and we were only at 1 out of 6. I'm a universal donor because my blood type is O negative, so I knew I could give to him, but about a month or 2 into the process, when I realized I was only a 1 out of 6 antigen, he had asked me would I consider joining a chain to hopefully get him a better matched kidney.
That's just, you know, for most people to even contemplate, it's an amazing act to even think about giving a kidney to a relative, even a distant cousin. But then to be asked to give it even though it may not help him.
Well, the way I thought about it would actually help 2 people, because definitely I would be helping a stranger, and in turn I would be helping my cousin to receive a better kidney. So not only would the stranger be receiving a kidney from me, he would also, so really in the end, I knew I would be helping 2 people. I knew the possibility of the chain with me starting, especially as an O negative blood type, I could extend the chain, but I didn't think it would go up to 30 people.
So tell me about learning the whole process when you found out how many people were involved in this chain.
I was excited. I was, you know, because 30 people getting off dialysis, I knew what my cousin was going through, and I know how lethargic he felt with dialysis. So it was something nice to be a part of.
And tell me about your cousin.
He's doing really well. He says he feels fantastic. He feels like he has more energy than he's had in years.
So you took part in what ended up being obviously the longest chain ever that we know about. Did you have an occasion to meet some of the other donors?
No, it was nice to see, though, once the New York Times had done their story. It was nice to see all the faces, and my kidney ended up going to California, so it was nice to see who received my kidney.
And they would have, in the process of you donating, told you what risks there are and how to, you know, how you would live with one kidney. Was there any concerns that you had?
No, not really. I did a lot of research before I even made my decision. I didn't want to say to my cousin, okay, I'm going to do it, and then research and then find out that it was not something I wanted to do. So I did my research first before confirming with him. And then once I saw what was involved, I knew it was a surgery, but I also knew that I was helping someone.
And what was your recovery time period?
My recovery period I thought would be sooner because, again, online everyone was saying 2 weeks, 3 weeks. So, but it did take me a full month to recover. I think a lot of it, had to do also because my surgery was done in Brooklyn. So I got operated, I was in Brooklyn, family was coming to visit, so I didn't rest as much as I could. Then I jumped on a plane, came back to Toronto.
You're not giving yourself much time to rest.
Yeah, I think that's why my recovery took a little longer.
What would you say to people who have maybe not even contemplated donation?
First, I think we should all sign our driver's license to start. I think that's important. Second, I really hope that with this awareness there will be more Good Samaritans, because 30 people got kidneys for something that we have an extra one. Like, we have 2 kidneys, and science and technology tells us that we can survive with one. I read somewhere that our 1 kidney is already doing or can handle 3 to 5 times more than what we need. So it's like Rick said, maybe we were created with extra parts to help each other out.
It's an amazing story, and you're such a crucial part of it. Thank you so much for sharing your story with us.
Thanks for having me.
Joining me now is one of the organizers of the incredible feat. Garrett Hill is the founder and president of the National Kidney Registry. He's with us on the line from Long Island, New York this morning. Garrett, thank you so much for joining us.
Good morning, Beverly. Thank you for having me on the show.
It's just such a great story, Garrett. But tell me, I mean, this logistically must have been a pretty difficult thing to accomplish.
It was, but I just want to take an opportunity to say hello to Josephine. I've never met Josephine, but I've heard a great deal about her. So Hello, Josephine.
Good morning, Garrett.
It's great to meet you.
Nice to meet you, too.
Tell me
so-
about pulling this together, Garrett.
This was probably the most difficult swap that we've organized. It was the largest one we've organized, but it was also challenging because it broke so many times. We had to repair it, and it took about 5 months to complete end to end.
So tell me about the people that got involved in this, because it's one thing to donate, as I was mentioning to Josephine, to a relative, but in a swap like this, in a chain like this, people were donating to strangers.
Yeah, that's a way to overcome incompatibility. It was, similar to my incompatibility with my daughter. She needed a kidney transplant 5 years ago, and I got within 2 days of donating and then failed the final cross match because she had antibodies against my antigen. So this is a fairly common problem, and I became aware of it 5 years ago, and we think that there's probably between 2,000 and 4,000 people in North America that have donors that are incompatible. Now, what's interesting is Josephine was compatible with her intended recipient, and that's kind of the new wave of these swaps, because when pairs like Josephine and her recipient enter a swap, they get a lot more people transplanted and also get better matches for the people in the swap.
Do you think the awareness as a result of a chain like this one will, and I guess certainly it'd be the hope, but do you think that it will help people recognize what's involved and maybe make people more willing?
Well, we're sure it's building awareness because we've had over 5,000 visitors to our website every day since the article ran in the New York Times. So we're confident that we're getting the word out, but we need to get the word out more, and I'm glad you're covering this on your news station because there's still literally thousands of people who don't know this is available and are stuck on dialysis and could get transplanted, but they just don't know this is a possibility.
And Garrett, do you mind if I ask how your daughter is?
She's doing great. She's thriving. Thanks.
Oh, that's so great. And just so that people understand, I mean, if you have kidney disease, it's a really difficult life and a very tough road, as Josephine found out from her cousin. Tell me a little bit about that.
Is that directed at me, Beverly?
Yes, sorry, go ahead.
Yeah, dialysis is a great therapy because it keeps folks who have had kidney failure from perishing, but it's also a very challenging therapy, and the science shows that a transplant improves quality of life, lifespan, every facet. So if you can get a kidney transplant and you're on dialysis, you definitely want to get that transplant.
Garrett, such an amazing story. I want to thank both of you, Garrett, you and Josephine, for coming in and sharing with us.
Thanks, Beverly.
Take care.
Bye-bye.